Hello, third grade. Today I'm going to be reading your crunch for this week, week of September 14th. We have 2 passages and 6 questions to read. So, again, you can listen to the story as many times as you need. You can listen to the questions being read aloud again just by rewinding or going back in the video. Whatever you need to help you get going on this. So let's do this together. Passage 1, 3 is better than 2. When the recess bell rang, hundreds of kids dashed outside to freedom and fresh air. Fahim moved over to the side of the crowd so he could find Chai. Should we join the kids playing freeze tag or the group of kids playing basketball? Fahim asked. Chai replied, I think we should play basketball today. Let's go. Fahim cried out, Wait, isn't that the new boy in our class standing over there all alone? I think his name is Carlito. Maybe we should ask him if he wants to join us, because he looks like he isn't sure what he should do. I don't know, Chai replied. I get nervous talking to people I don't know. Maybe he won't like us, or maybe he doesn't like basketball. How will we find out if we don't ask him? Fahim inquired. Besides, wouldn't you want someone to ask you to play if you were at a new school? I guess you're right, Chai answered. Let's go over there. But as far as the talking is concerned, the ball's in your court. I don't know what to say. That's fine with me, Fahim replied. I'll beat you over there. I don't think so, Chai challenged as he raced quickly toward Carlito. Chai ran faster and got to Carlito first. Fahim followed just about 2 steps behind Chai and said, Carlito, Chai and I are going to join the kids playing basketball over there. Would you like to come play with us? Sure, Carlito answered with a grin. Thanks for asking. I love to play basketball. I thought about playing today, but I wasn't sure which team to join. No problem, Chai said. We can help you with that because we know everyone over there. We need to run quickly, though, because recess will be over before you know it. The boys had a ton of fun playing basketball. All 3 of them ended up on the same team, and they discovered they played really well together. The recess bell rang again. As the boys raced to the school, Fahim said to Chai, See, I told you we should talk to Carlito. He had fun at recess, and we made a good friend. You're right, Chai replied. I'm glad we talked to him. And when it comes to us beating the other team at basketball, Fahim added, 3 is much better than 2. Okay. Directions. Read the questions below. Select the best answer. Number 1. How does Chai feel about talking to new people? A. Nervous. B. Angry. C. Good. Or D. Silly. Number 2. What best describes how Carlito feels about Fahim and Chai asking him to play basketball? A. Grateful they asked him to play with them. B. Happy to play all by himself. C. Angry because the boys didn't come over. Or D. Sorry he had to play freeze tag. Number 3. This question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. How does Fahim feel about asking Carlito to play? A. Fahim wants to ask Carlito to play because the team needs an extra player. B. Fahim doesn't want to ask Carlito to play because he thinks it is the right thing to do. C. Fahim doesn't want to ask Carlito to play because he is shy around people he doesn't know. Or D. Fahim wants to ask Carlito to play because he knows how he would feel if he were at a new school. Part B. Which detail from the passage best supports the answer above? A. Fahim has never talked to Carlito before. B. Fahim is nervous about asking Carlito to play with him. C. Fahim says 3 basketball players are better than 2. Or D. Fahim asks Chai how he would feel if he was new. Number 4, mark the boxes to match each boy with his point of view. So again, you have each boy's name. You have Fahim, Chai, and Carlito. And I'm going to read something about each of them, and you're just going to put an X or a check or whatever you can to mark the box that goes with each description. Okay? So the first one. Fahim loves to play basketball, but isn't sure which team to join. I'll read that again. Loves to play basketball, but isn't sure which team to join. Was that Fahim, Chai, or Carlito? Second one. Wants to include the new boy at recess. Who wants to include the new boy at recess? Fahim, Chai, or Carlito? Last one. Worries that the new boy will not like him. Who worries that the new boy will not like him? Fahim, Chai, or Carlito? Number 5. This is a DWB. It's an extended response. Identify and explain the message the author is trying to teach in the passage. Use 2 details from the passage to support your answer. So again, identify and explain the message the author is trying to teach in the passage. Use 2 details from the passage to support your answer. Okay, that puts us on to passage 2. Read the following passage. Passage 2, knocked down. Christopher held the heavy bowling ball in his right hand. He stared down the long waxed lane in front of him. He closed his eyes and imagined throwing a strike, the pins tumbling down with a loud crash. He opened his eyes, took a deep breath, took 3 steps, and then sent the ball rolling. A thundering sound erupted as the ball collided with the pins, knocking them all down. Yes, Christopher cried, running back to his seat. Nice, said his friend Patrick. You're still like 50 points behind me, though. And Christopher leaned back in his seat. He was feeling pretty good, but then he heard a voice behind him. Hey, Chris. A terrible feeling overcame Christopher. He looked behind him to see Sam. He and Sam had been friends since kindergarten, but Christopher had been avoiding him lately. Kids like Patrick didn't think Sam was cool. I thought you said you were too busy to go bowling today, Sam said. Christopher shrugged. I changed my mind. Whatever, Sam said with a hurt look on his face. Then he walked away. Patrick finished his turn and nodded to Christopher. What's that geek Sam doing here? He asked. I don't know, Christopher answered. Okay, that takes us into your last question, but I want to take a minute and talk about the passage that we just read. So it kind of ends abruptly, which means there's no real solution to the story. And that's meant for you to think about what a real friend should do or would say in a situation like this, okay? It's meant to make you continue and say, well, if Christopher was really a friend to Sam, would he treat him that way? Or is it nice for Patrick to come and to call Sam names, like calling him a geek? So this one is more about you thinking what should be done in this scenario, okay? So question 6. Identify the theme in both 3 is better than 2 and knock down. Include details about the importance of friendship from both passages to write a multi-paragraph essay. Include details from both texts to support your reasoning. Now, I know it says multi-paragraph essay, but if you can give me one good paragraph, I'll take it, okay? So I want you to just do your best and not stress about the length of it. I'm more concerned with the quality over the quantity, okay? So I want it to be a really good one rather than 2 or 3 ones that are kind of sloppy and not put together well, okay? I'm going to read the question one more time. Identify the theme in both 3 is better than 2 and knocked down. Include details about the importance of friendship from both passages to write a multi-paragraph essay. Include details from both texts to support your reasoning. As you write your response, be sure to review your sources, create clear, organized paragraphs, draw information from both sources, use evidence from the sources to support your points, pay attention to grammar, structure, and mechanics of your sentences, and be sure to include an introduction, information from the sources to support your explanation, and a conclusion. And then you can write or type your paragraph in response. So again, I know it says multi-paragraph, but if you can just give me one really good one for now, we'll start there, okay? Again, you can rewind this to listen to any parts of the story or listen to any of the questions again. And I will see you guys next time.